So as you can see, the weather's changed a little bit here at the Chateau today, and it feels like we're up in the clouds while we're up on scaffolding. But back out here, cracking on with the rest of the dormer window. So in the last video you would have seen obviously that I got it sanded down and the first stage of the two-part filler on the dormer window. I went over and put a primer on just so we had like a base coat on it, and just so it could highlight any of the other bits that I need to go over and get any of the filler in the cracks, just so we've got a decent window again really. So I've just been mixing that up, getting that in place, so I can leave that for about 20 minutes, half an hour now, just to set, and then once that's done we can look at giving it a quick sand and going over with the first undercoat, which would be good. And then once that's dry we can get another undercoat on and look at 2 top coats, and then that'll be this one ticked off the list as well, and it'll be brilliant to finally get the scaffolding down, and when we get a clear day to see just how nice and clean the back of the chateau is actually looking. Now we've got the walls cleaned and this last one's done. So yeah, I'm just going to be cracking on with that today. Ash and Mum are just out at the minute, and I think Rob is just getting started on the 401. So it'll just be me and Rob today, working away, getting stuff done, and hopefully he can get the 401 finished and I can get this finished. So I will crack on now. Now the paint's on the dormer window up the top. Obviously there's not much more I can do up there until the paint's dry to get the next coats on. So while that's drying, I thought I'd come in the red bedroom, or the Frankenstein bedroom as it was once called, but it's looking fantastic now, so we don't need to. And back on with the mouldings. So obviously this room is going to have a lot of mouldings in it, and obviously I've started creating some of them, which you would have seen in the previous videos, but I need to sort of step it up with getting them made and getting them on the walls really, so we can start seeing how it's going to sort of piece together. Because even though it's all in my head and I've bought all these different mouldings, we don't actually know how it's all going to sort of fit together and what it's going to look like when it's all together, if it's going to be okay for the room or if it's going to look a bit sort of naff and I don't know, a bit not right for the style really. So I'm going to go on with making a couple of these and get the resin poured, get them out, and then get them stuck on the wall and start piecing them together and see how it sort of looks. We're wanting sort of like a Regency style room for this red bedroom. So that's why we're going with like the deep red and a lot of gold on it. And it is going to be obviously a powerful room, but we're wanting something that's just going to completely wow people when they walk in. So that's the reasoning with it. So like I said, all I'm going to do is sand these down into place like I did when we were doing the ones in the 400. Get them stuck on the wall with just a general tube adhesive and go from there. So I will crack on now. And there we have it. There's the first mouldings all up on the wall for the 401 red bedroom. Now, what we're planning on doing is obviously doing the panel work within the panel work that we've already got there, just to sort of elaborate on what we've already got. The central, obviously, medallion motif is the main focal point, which is obviously drawing your eye down from the panels. And then we've obviously got the scrolls on each corner, just on the top section. because that's going to be the majority of the part that you're going to see. And I'm just so pleased with how they've worked out together. Obviously the scrolls, the large decorative motif, and the parts that we've used to join it together, which obviously the design's quite similar to what we used in the 400. It's more of like a bit like a Louis XVI style with the crosses on, and it's going to fit perfect for the sort of Regency style that we're wanting here anyway. But yeah, it's just brilliant. And as you probably would have noticed in the shots as well, we've started getting a lot of the detailing on the ceiling in here as well. So because there's going to be so much gilded work on the walls, the ceiling in this room is going to be a lot more sort of simplified. So we're just going to go with 9 rectangular boxes on the ceiling. So we'll have 3 smaller ones at that end, 3 smaller ones at this end, and 3 larger ones in the centre. And then they'll have the same sort of cross design trim within that panelling as well, just to keep it really sort of simple and elegant, and just so it's not drawing your full attention to the ceiling and you're concentrating more on the walls. So yeah, the only downside is though the moulds are taking quite a long time to do, and repeating them obviously time after time after time, and especially the long strands, because I've only got 1 mould for them and I need a set of 2 just to create 1 panel. So that's going to be 48 hours just to create the side parts for them, and then obviously it's sticking them on. So even if you said what 3 days to do 1 panel, and I've got 24 panels to do in this room just on the top section, and then we've got 24 to do on the middle section as well. So it is going to be quite time consuming, but I found a quicker way to do it, which I'm going to share with you now. So the problem is obviously these long bits which we're needing to create this bottom panel and the majority of the top section. Now, as obviously I mentioned, the problem is I've only got 1 mould and I need to create 2 lots just for 1 panel on that. So that's like obviously over 48 hours just to create 1 set of panels. Now, there's a quicker solution, and it is this. So this is a trim that we're needing, and it's by a company called withbthe, and as you can see, it's solid as it is at the minute. So I can keep it like that and stick it on the wall, or if we're wanting to get a little bit creative, we have a special tool which we use, and we can bend it to whatever shape we want. So if I need to go over any of the details now, then this is the perfect product, because I can just put, say, a trim like that. This is going to fit perfectly over it, which is going to work so well on when I'm doing the ceiling mouldings, because previously on the 400 suite I had to sort of make do with the details that I'd got, where obviously this, it's gone completely solid now in that shape, and if I want to change it again, I just heat it up with a hairdryer and create whatever shape we want, and it's just so easy. And obviously the detail on it now is just going to be perfect. Where the problem I'm having with the resin is, obviously if you can see on parts like this, so we're missing like a little notch out here and a little notch here, and then we've got excess on the bottom here, where this one is just completely flat. So to give us a more professional finish and a smoother finish really, we're going to carry on with the withbthe to stick this on and give us a better finish really. But the plus side with this is, obviously, if we wanted to, we can stain this, because this is a wood product, we can stain it to match in with any woodwork that we've got, or we can paint it whatever colour we want. So the idea is we're going to stick this on the walls, and then we'll paint the whole room in the dark red colour, and then we can go back over and we're going to look at gilding each of the crosses. Now, you know, obviously in the 400 suite we had over 700 of the crosses to paint. In this room, I think we're going to have double that to gild. So it's going to be a tall order, but hey ho. But yeah, if you're interested in them, check them out. Obviously it's a fantastic product, and I'll put the link in the description, and if you use our link in the description now, you'll get 10% off any of the products on the Would You Bend website, excluding the delivery, which is just amazing because there's such a good product, and you can put them on pieces of furniture. So if you want to upcycle pieces of furniture and get little decals, you can stick these on and mould them to whatever shape you want. Possibilities are endless really with it. So yeah, I'm so pleased with it. So let us know what you think to the mouldings and the design to it and how it's worked out. I'm over the moon with it, and as you can see, we've started doing a bit of the gold leaf on some of the details. These won't be staying on, obviously we'll be taking the corner pieces off so we can gild those before we paint the room, but the trim will be staying on so we can get that painted actually into the room. But yeah, absolutely over the moon with the design, and it's going to come together so well with the products from Would You Bend now. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed today's episode. If you have, don't forget to like and subscribe because it massively helps us, and we will see you in the next one. See you soon. Bye. If you'd like to be part of our journey and help restore the chateau, then please join us on Patreon, where you'll be part of our journey, receive a piece of the history, and get exclusive videos.